Welcome to 15 After 5, your after-work brain snack. In each episode, we explore 3 simple ways to feel smarter, lighter, and more in control. A mind shift, insights from books, psychology, and personal growth. A machine check, fresh trends in AI tech, and tools that work for you. A movement mode, practical wellness tips you can actually stick to. I'm Ying, producer of this show, and this is your daily dose of playful progress. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to tackle 3 really interesting ideas. They're all connected, actually.
Yeah, the goal is to give you some valuable knowledge, some insights, but without, drowning you in information.
Exactly. Think of it like an express lane. We want you to grasp some key concepts quickly, how we learn best, maybe how easy building things can be now, and how our daily choices really shape our health.
Absolutely. We've done the digging for you, pulling out the core ideas. So we'll touch on learning from high performers, playing around with no-code tools, and then some really solid science on lifestyle as medicine.
We're hoping for a few aha moments along the way for you.
Definitely. There were some surprising bits in there.
Okay, so let's dive in. First up, learning, but maybe not like you learn in school.
Right. We're starting with an idea from Josh Waitzkin's book, The Art of Learning. He calls it investment in loss.
Investment in loss. I mean, right away, that sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Why would you invest in losing?
It does sound counterintuitive, yeah. But it's not about, trying to fail. It's more about changing how you see setbacks.
Okay.
Seeing them less as, total failures and more like paying for a really valuable lesson, an advanced lesson in whatever you're trying to do.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. And it's not just theory. I actually, I went through this building in an app. It was called OuiMate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we launched the first version, and, well, let's just say it didn't exactly fly off the virtual shelves.
Yeah.
Users found it confusing, retention dropped off fast, and the feedback we got was, well, it was very honest, very direct.
Mm-hmm. Which can be tough to hear, but it's gold, isn't it? That direct feedback tells you exactly where things are going wrong.
Totally. It pinpointed the issues. Like, what was some of the surprising stuff you heard, and how did that change things?
Well, one big thing was the onboarding. People just got stuck right at the start.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out the first steps.
Ah, okay. Common problem.
Yeah. And another was a key feature people wanted, but we'd kind of buried it. It wasn't obvious.
Right.
So the redesign, we totally rethought that initial flow, made it super simple. And we pulled that buried feature right out front. Those specific complaints basically dictated the overhaul.
It's interesting how that principle applies so broadly, though. It's not just apps.
Exactly. You see it everywhere, like agile development, right? Short cycles, constant feedback. Or the lean startup idea, build, measure, learn, experimenting.
Yeah.
Even AI training, it learns by making mistakes and getting corrected. It seems like real growth happens right at that edge where things get uncomfortable.
So the main point here for you, the listener, is expect things to break sometimes. If you're building something, anything really, a skill, a business.
It will go wrong.
Yeah. And the key isn't avoiding the bumps. It's learning faster than things fall apart, getting those lessons quickly and adapting.
Well put. Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Right.
From learning theory to something more hands-on, actually building things.
Right. And specifically building without needing to be a coding genius.
Yeah, there's this explosion of AI-powered tools making it way more accessible. Our next source is about an experiment with some of these.
That was me. I jumped in and tried out a few: Cursor, Windsurf, Bolt.new, and Replit.
Okay.
And just for context, my coding skill is pretty minimal. Like maybe a tiny bit of HTML. That's it.
So a real test case then.
Definitely. I gave myself a challenge. Build a working rock, paper, scissors app.
Okay, classic starter project.
Yeah, but build it within a lunch break, starting from zero code, using these tools.
Wow. Okay, ambitious. How'd it go? Any standouts in terms of ease of use?
It was. Interesting. Replit and Bolt.new are the ones that really click for me. They felt quite intuitive.
How so? What made them intuitive?
They managed to hide a lot of the complex code stuff, the syntax, but I could still see the logic. I understood how the app was working, which was key.
Right, not just a black box. And Bolt.new, you mentioned something about the user interface design.
Oh, yeah. Bolt was wild. It almost felt like he was reading my mind. Seriously.
Well, you're my...
It has this visual interface. You can drag things around, arrange elements, almost like you would in Figma, the design tool.
Okay.
And it was just building the working UI in the background. It wasn't typing code, wasn't even writing complicated prompts. It was just direct manipulation, creating the interface. Very impressive.
That's fascinating. And what's really significant there, I think, is how these tools change what you need to focus on.
Exactly.
It's not that thinking isn't required, but the kind of thinking shifts, right?
Totally. Instead of getting bogged down in like chasing semicolons or debugging weird syntax errors, your brain power goes towards the actual idea, the logic, the user flow. Is this clear? Does it make sense?
It shifts you from being a developer, in the traditional sense maybe, to being more of a builder.
Yeah, I like that. A builder, someone who can explain their vision clearly, spot problems early just by looking at it, and then tweak it super fast.
And the bigger picture implication here is huge. It lowers the barrier to creation so much.
Right. You don't necessarily need a tech co-founder and months learning Python just to test an idea anymore.
So the real takeaway here is your ideas and your ability to think clearly about them, that's becoming the currency.
Yeah. Clarity and logic. If you can explain what you want, structure it well, these tools let you build it fast. It's really democratizing.
Clarity is the new superpower. Love that.
Okay, so from building apps to building our health. Let's switch focus again.
Yeah, a really vital area.
Yeah.
Our last source comes from a really great conversation on the Diary of a CEO podcast.
Yeah.
It was with Dr. William Lai.
Oh, that was an eye-opener. Dr. Lean, he's a physician, a researcher, very respected. And he laid out this really compelling case, backed by science, he emphasized, that our everyday choices, food, lifestyle, have a much bigger impact on serious diseases, even advanced ones, than we might think.
It definitely challenges conventional wisdom a bit, but his points are based on the body's own health defense systems.
Right. He talks about these built-in systems.
Yeah, and how everything we do every day either strengthens those defenses or kind of weakens them.
And the examples were striking. Like food. He talked about anti-angiogenic foods.
Right. Things like matcha, tomatoes, even purple potatoes.
And the idea is they can stop tumors from growing new blood vessels, basically cutting off their supply line.
That's the concept, yeah. And he was clear, this isn't just wishful thinking. It's peer-reviewed science looking at these mechanisms.
It's pretty powerful stuff. And it wasn't just food, was it?
No, not at all. He hit hard on sleep and stress, too, how critical they are.
Yeah.
Chronic stress, not getting enough good sleep. He explained how that directly suppresses your immune system, and it literally speeds up aging at the cellular level.
Wow. So sleep isn't just downtime, it's repair time.
Essential repair. That's how we framed it.
Crucial. And then there was the gut health part, the microbiome.
Ah, yes. The silent warrior in our gut. He talked about how feeding the good bacteria, like Akkermansia,
right.
through diet can impact, well, almost everything.
Yeah.
Inflammation, metabolism, even your mood and mental health.
It's all connected.
Deeply connected. And one other point he made that stuck with me was about visceral fat.
The hidden fat around the organs.
Exactly. He warned about being skinny fat, looking slim on the outside, but carrying this dangerous internal fat.
Right.
The health risks are still significant.
Right. So you can't always judge by appearance.
Not at all. So pulling all that together, the big message seems to be every choice matters.
Yeah. What you eat, how you sleep, how you handle stress. It's all either building up your defenses or tearing them down.
It really makes you rethink what being healthy actually means, doesn't it?
Sure.
It's not just about not being sick right now.
It's proactive. It's about building resilience from the inside out.
Exactly. Cultivating that internal strength.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, we've covered learning from mistakes, building with new tools, and lifestyle as medicine. 3 quite different areas on the surface.
They seem different, yeah. But is there a common thread you see running through them?
I think so. For me, it comes back to this idea of systems and how we react when those systems don't go perfectly to plan, which they rarely do.
Adaptation.
Yeah, adaptation. Whether you're debugging code or realizing your first app version missed the mark or choosing foods to support your body's defenses, it's all about responding to what's happening.
That's a great connection. Progress isn't about perfection first time. It's about the feedback loop, right? Learning from friction, iterating.
Exactly. Responding effectively to challenges, learning from the feedback, whether it's user feedback or how your body feels.
So for you listening, as you're working on, whatever it is you're working on, debugging something, maybe rethinking a plan, launching something new.
Maybe keep these 3 final thoughts in mind, drawn from today. First, stay curious. Always be learning.
Second, just build the thing. Don't let the fear of it not being perfect stop you. Build anyway.
And third, embrace that friction. See the setbacks not just as problems, but as data, as opportunities for growth.
Nicely put. And maybe one final question for you to chew on after this.
Okay.
How could you deliberately, intentionally apply that investment in loss principle to whatever challenge you're facing right now? Could you design a small experiment, embrace a potential small failure just to learn something faster?
That's all for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to 15 After 5. If today gave you a spark, share it with a friend, drop a quick review, or hit follow so you never miss a dose. Remember, your goals are a compass, not a cage. Progress should feel like play, and a reset is always just one episode away. I'm Ying, and I'll see you in the next one, After 5.